Huh?
What did you make of his comments, the Mexican thing? I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, like, well, I'm a flat-footed Mexican fighter. Look, if you're calling me a Mexican fighter, I find that as a compliment, you know?
Well, yeah, guys, the big news today was the Canelo Alvarez EV Azteca deal. There were rumors that by an infamous person who shall not be named, but everybody knows who he is, said that Canelo was leaving the PBC and that it was going to be a big major fallout. Well, none of that happened. Looks like Canelo Alvarez, he said he's fighting an American. People are going crazy, speculating who that might be. The names at the top of the list are Jermell Charlo, the middleweight, and Terrence Bud Crawford. Crawford. It looks like I know Munguia is out of the picture for now. So really, essentially, the athlete names Jermell Charlo, Bud Crawford, and David Benavidez. Now, nobody believes it'll be Benavidez, as Canelo signed a 3-fight deal. So the likely names are Terrence Crawford and Jermell Charlo. Now, everybody's gonna say that he's ducking Benavidez, which is understandable. I can understand that. But you know, Canelo, he's doing his Floyd Mayweather thing. You know, I don't understand what all the hate is for. You know, Floyd Mayweather did the same thing. I mean, for me, it was good for the goose. It's good for the camera. Many people won't like that. They think, you know, I was on a channel and the host was saying, "Oh, you're protecting Canelo. You're not holding him accountable." My argument was, well, name a fighter that's doing more than Canelo Alvarez. I mean, if we look at the top fighters, who's doing more? You know, I mentioned these heavyweights: Francis, Tyson Fury, and AJ and Usyk. Well, that, you know, Fury and Usyk, it took forever to get made. Usyk fought AJ and then he fought the boy. It's really done much. No, May's not going on like killing spree, you know, taking on Zilly Zhang or, you know, the other top fighters. And AJ is fighting Francis Ngannou, and then the May guy. Tyson Fury, same thing. He's pulling out. He is taking on an MMA guy, looking awful. Who else you got? You got Crawford. What has he done since Earl Spence? And even before that, it was a year and a half for them to make the fight. He had the fight, and now what is he doing? Nothing. He's sitting and he's waiting. You know, he's turning down fights. He's turning down his toughest competition in blue tennis. So he's not doing anything. Now you got this other guy who they call us the face of boxing, Stan Davis. And it's like, what is he doing? I mean, he fought Ryan Garcia. Nobody considered a killer. But Gervonta Davis is holding the baby belt. Now he's been elevated, but nevertheless, he's sitting doing nothing, you know, on house arrest. So the only fighter close to doing what Canelo is doing is a newly, but he's on the other side of the world. And I mean, yeah, he cannot take his away accomplishments. They far surpass anything but Crawford's done. But then at the same time, he's fighting Luis Neri, who we've seen lose, and that's not a big fight. I mean, if he was going to do something major, he could go up to the next weight class and take on another killer. But he's said well, in our opinion, I guess he's going to play it safe. He's just going to stay there for 2 years, he said. You know, and just take on whoever's in the division. So, I mean, there's no real mega fights for him. Better Biev and B-Ball, they're finally gonna fight, but it took forever, you know, and they've been facing, you know, the competition, but they weren't anxious to run to major fights. So, you know, as Davina Hanke, you know, is he moving in that manner? He goes from Regis Prograis, who looked awful, to Ryan Garcia. Like, is that the killer in the division? No, it's not, you know. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to go far and wide and look for fighters doing what Canelo's doing as far as facing top-level competition, because Terrence Crawford and Jermell Charlo are top-level competition. Say what you want, but, you know, the only other super middleweights besides those names, or and Billy, who else do you have? David Pacheco, he's not ready. You have Caleb Plant. You know, you have the middling guys. There's really no major super fights over there. So, you know, Bam Rodriguez, but we don't know what he's gonna do next. So, you know, when you take a look at these names and lists, you know, like pound for pound, things of that nature, it's hard to really pinpoint a fighter who's fighting killer after killer. So, you know, I would love a Bud Crawford fight. I mean, you know, his fans believe that he walks on water, that he's the second coming, and I poo-poo it. Call me a hater, call me what you want, but I don't believe it. I don't buy it. You know, the guy's not active. You know, he could have stuck in, as far as I'm concerned, Ron NS. He probably should have fought Tim Tszyu. Jamel Charlo was the fight they were talking about, but he really done nothing. You know, and like I said, I broke down how Sting Davis moves to being a hanky. You know, we're talking about super fight there. There's no super fight. So nobody's really moving in a way that I would have to say, man, Canelo, you know, here's a guy you have that is moving and facing killer after killer, name after name, and you're losing. You're not carrying the mantle. And here's the thing: the king remains the king. That's why he's the king of the sport. He's the measuring stick. You know, he's the stick, the straw that moves the drink. So, look, man, you know, this is a Canelo update. We'll have to wait to see what he does. You know, it's the May 5th date always. That is probably the biggest date in all of combat sports, you know, as far as boxing goes, especially. And I guess the UFC is trying to make a move in on that date. But now for boxing, Canelo holds the date, and we just have to sit, hold tight, you know, and not be honest. I'm not necessarily the biggest Canelo Alvarez fanboy. You know, I don't, you know, people accuse me of holding his jockstrap or having a shrine to him. But to be honest, you know, I had Triple G in the first fight. You know, I was picking Triple G. I wasn't happy with how Canelo was moving. But in retrospect, when I look back at, you know, I see how all the other fighters move. You know, I'm okay with the way he's moved, because you know who set the precedent was who people idolize is Floyd Mayweather. You know, and that's who I'm comparing him to. And it's like, I think he's doing better than Floyd Mayweather as a face of boxing. You know, keeping the sport alive, keeping boxing mainstream somewhat. But you know, Floyd Mayweather, there was a lot of fights that he ducked. He fought Small Marquez. He fought a guy with no fights in McGregor. So he was fighting for the bag. He never fought for the legacy. He was cherry picking for the bag. And if Canelo does that, you can hate me, sue me, you know, leave bad comments. But I'm okay with it. And again, at the end of the day, we do have to look and understand the politics of boxing, you know, with the different promotional companies, PBC, Matchroom, Golden Boy, you know, the various sanctioned bodies. There's so many politics and network ties and the money available for these fights to happen, you know. And you see the storm that it causes in the boxing world. You know, Canelo Alvarez moves the needle. He is boxing right now. You know, the whole boxing world awaits to see what he does, and then they move accordingly. And now all these guys, whoever he picks, whether it's Jamel Charlo or Terrence Crawford, you know, the Benavidez and Billy, you know, David Morrell, I forgot about him. They will all have to fight fights. You know, man, they're with the PDC, who there's no fights going on. You know, all these young guys, and Billy, Pacheco, there's probably some other names I'm missing, but the names that we know that we talk about, this is the landscape. So Canelo Alvarez remains the king. We may not like it, but if you can name another fighter that's doing more and doing better, I'll concede. But until then, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Always, you know, especially leave your comments if you don't like what I have to say. You know, you can come on, join the live, and we can hash it out. But right on Boxing Heads, you know, we always try to bring you the real at the Frank Bay Show. You know, we chopping up narratives, breaking them down, and giving you that real boxing truth. So with that, I'm out.
talking about, you know?
What did you make of his comments, the Mexican thing? I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, like, well, I'm a flat-footed Mexican
Yeah.
fighter. Look, if you're calling me a Mexican fighter, I find that as a compliment, you know?